Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective, and I've got a very good shoe figured out for today. It's going to be interesting. We're going to get right onto it here in just a minute, as soon as we can get Pete the Patriot to jump in the house. And, yeah, goodies. All right, so Donna Daly, Deidre Baker, Lulu, Cindy Duff, California Cricket. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Gary Holland, Cindy Duff again, Deidre Baker, Margot, hello to you. Uh, Gladys Kravitz Jr., I think. How you doing? Look, Cindy Duff again. Eric Chenault, good to see you. Northern Tiger, welcome. Plays in the Dirt and Wolf Stonehenge, Dirty Rotten Imbecile 69. How you doing? Let's see here. I am going to make sure that I've got this link in here, so if it runs up too far, at least Pete can still find it. I don't want to give away any hints on what I'm going to talk about until Pete's here, because I want to watch his face go into the duh look. So, yeah, my wife just came in with brownies, so she loves me. Pocahontas, good to see you. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Frank Morrell, thank you for your service. Thank you. I'm glad to do my small part. I appreciate you. All right, so let me get myself situated. Yeah. When you have a bad back, it sucks trying to get into a position of comfort, but that's enough about me anyway. So Jason, Chenault, DM, well, good to see you. You got unsubscribed from me. Well, that's kind of funny. Yeah, I found out one of my favorite channels. I checked him out yesterday, and I saw that the old box was bright red. And I was like, wait, I watched every single one of his videos. So yeah, it was stupid. Sergeant Bob, thank you for the lemon. Appreciate you over there in D Live. Carmageddon, good to see you. All right, got a couple of people over there hanging out on D Live. Please, if you do not have my D Live, I would really appreciate you jumping over there and grabbing such D Live using that link right there, because it is very important. Carmageddon, thank you for the ice cream. Triple X Rider, thank you for the lemons. And Steak 59, you as well. Appreciate you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Patriot. I know you just got done seeing him, and here he is again. How are you today, sir?
I am good, brother. How are you?
Man, I am just out freaking standing. I have to check myself sometimes when I feel this good. But man, I have got a really interesting show for you today. Hippies for Trump, how you doing? What do you know about 7D technology?
7D technology.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the lemon there, Pete.
7D technology is something that
Umpire's post. How are you?
I'm gonna say I'm not actually sure who was the first one to put it out there. I'm thinking it was from Disney Studios or Pixar, actually, was working on it.
Okay. Commercially, yes.
Okay.
As far as its creation, it was actually initiated at the Aerospace Medical Research Laboratory in Pensacola, Florida, and my father actually participated in the development of it, as well as virtual reality also came through the same place. So, yeah, it's been something in the works for many years, and it has reached a level of perfection at this point. If you notice up here, this funny-looking elephant that you can see through, that's one of the first examples of 7D technology. And as you can see, it's a little primitive, but it has come a very long way. And the reason I'm bringing this up today, we're going to go over it. I'm going to teach everybody, and including you, what
Please.
this is, and we're going to talk about it because it's being used right now as another form of mind screw for keeping the American or keeping the world sheep asleep. And I'm going to show you some examples of it. I'm going to talk about how it was created or what exactly it is, and give you some of the most obvious examples of its use. And I'm going to be doing this under screen share because, you know, what the hell? I haven't done this really well before, so I'm going to give it a shot and
All
see
right.
what kind of thing it looks like. But anyway, so there's the Patriot Pooch. That's my little Patriot penny with her jumper on, and I have all of the let's see here. I have all of these things pulled up already, and I'm going to start talking about it. And the first one here is it says, "Can anyone give complete info about 7D hologram technology?" And what does Google know about me? That's a side note. Anyway, 7D hologram is a method of capturing a high quality hologram using 7 perimeters, dimensions. The universe exists in 3D space, with time often considered a 4th dimension. The reason a 7D hologram has so many dimensions is that the hologram is captured from a large number of positions that surround the screen or subject of the hologram. Each position described as 3D space. Each position captures a variety of viewing directions in two-dimension space. 2 additional perimeters are captured for each direction: image intensity and time. If you add these up, you get 7 perimeters known as dimensions. Analogy: a 7D program is like having a bunch of photographers surrounding a subject. The position of each photographer is described in 3D. The angle each photographer is pointing the camera is described in 2D. Each camera records light, properties, and time. The resulting perimeters are 3D positions plus 2D angle plus time plus light properties equals 7D. All right, everyone got that? We're going to be testing on it later. Now, what was the part in the middle? All right.
I'm reading it as you're reading it. I'm reading it on the bigger screen, and I'm like, huh?
Right. All right. Well, it's not meant for people at our pay grade to fully understand the conceptual perimeters of it. It is it's technical, but in our understanding of it, we have to look at it in a different way. And I'm going to give the example of the first time it was used. And the first time it was used, and this is going to be interesting here too, is the first time it was used by the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern of New Zealand. And the reason that is might be a little interesting to everybody is because she seems to be the queen of the cabal and the run-to place for the leaders of the cabal, because they're all in New Zealand buying up their bunkers and stuff. Now I'm building up to what I'm getting at here. Are you keeping up with me so far, Pete?
I got you.
Okay. Now, she was the first one to use this in a form of an address. Uh, all right. So what it says is Tech Week claims Ardern is the first world leader to complete an official engagement using the technology. However, there have been other politicians that have used holograms in lieu of their physical form. Are you catching up with me now?
I know one.
All right. Okay, good. You're gonna blow the surprise, aren't you?
Nope. Go ahead. I'm not saying nothing.
Oh no, come on, please do. Go ahead, because we're gonna go over all of it.
It was just about 2 months ago. Just about 2 months ago. Just before this whole cold beer sniffles things
The
was
sniffles?
happening. The sniffles. The Pope
Yes.
was out there giving a speech, and
All right, that's enough.
okay, am I right?
Yes, you are, sir. You are very right.
Okay, go ahead.
And
All right.
we're going to get to that because that's a good one too. Thank you, Great Informer, for the super chat. Love you, brother. You are one of the best ones we got out here. I mean that really. All right, so another example here is Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan appeared as a hologram at a party meeting when he was a prime minister back in 2014, while French president candidate Jean-Luc Mélenchon used the technology last year to appear at 7 different rallies during elections last year. All phrases are new light-filled overlords. So, I'm at this point, do you get where I'm going with this subject?
I think so.
Okay. I know you're awesome, man. You can keep up with me. Some people can't. But anyway, here's a little cute little side note. You see this little critter right here? That is a example of some of the technology that exists in our world. Bugs that they can use to bug people. So they exist. All right, now back to Penny the Patriot. Let's talk about the most recent one that I think everybody will be familiar with. Is we're not going to subscribe to your newsletter. All right, now let me get it back here to the top. I was reading it, so everybody knows who that Kinkamehameha biatch is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, she was recently involved in a program that was it received so much negative press that they literally had to take it back down. But her name is Marina Abramovich, or
Right.
I was born a bitch. I can't remember what exactly how you pronounce it. But this woman is into very nasty things: spirit cooking, cannibalism, blood rituals, sacrifice, nasty stuff. And she has become the spokesperson to introduce the world to the new concept of being everywhere through the form of 7-dimension technology. So they're turning it into a good thing, or trying to turn it into a good thing, so that when it is used in nefarious ways, the negative attributes of it don't get brought across to the public, because it was such a beautiful thing, it was used in art. All right, do you know about this story, Pete?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what the basic concept of it is they call it performance art, or visualizing art. Anyway, so it's made in collaboration with production studios Tin Drum and Mariana I Was Born a Bitch. The performance, it's called The Life Performance, uses a combination of virtual and augmented reality called mixed reality. And you got to think about the terminology used. Mixed reality is getting you ready for, believe it or not, there's reality and mixed reality involved in everything. Oh, Pete the Patriot, drop me another lemon. Appreciate that. Oh, wait, I know you. Laura followed me. Thank you. Good to have you over here. Please, if anybody hasn't followed me on D Live or Pete at this point, please follow both of us, because we will be ultimately kicked off of YouTube. It's going to happen. That's George Soros's lifelong dream.
If we keep talking about this stuff like I did in my live show, like we're going to get into in this live show, yeah, we're going to be kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Anyway, it says viewers are able to see virtual image without a physical space, without the need for an intermediary screen such as a mobile device. While virtual reality closes you off from the world, mixed reality is literally blending it in with the real world. See there? Todd Eckert, director of The Life and founder of Ten Drum, told Dazine, this this enabled visitors to see I was born a bitch as if she was real or if she were actually in the room. Mariana is performing in the same orientation for everybody in the same way. If you are seeing her from the front, someone else is seeing it from the back, said Eric. So this, I don't want to keep talking about her, so we're going to drop her out right now. This thing has been designed to give the ultimate mind screw to the American people and to the world. They're preparing you for a new form of reality. And, you know, they're making it seem like it's such a very special thing. Um, this one here is one thing that we have to remember is that when you watch TV, when you watch movies, uh, everything that is done in any form of media is designed to get you ready for what's to
Something.
come. You get, yeah, you get hints. R-rated conservative. Hey, brother, good to see you. While he's on here, I want to mention Pete, you, me, and Primo, and hopefully a couple other people are talking preliminarily about doing what's called a D Live drive to try to help get people familiar with D Live and get people moving to D Live in preparation for the complete removal and purge from YouTube. So we are discussing it now. I want to definitely have you in the loop. And frankly, if anybody else, any other creators are in here that are on D Live and want to be a part of this thing, you need to make contact with myself, with R-Rated Conservative, with Pete, whomever you choose to contact. But let's get you on a list because we're going to be putting this thing together. And we're going to try to get it fired off in the next week or two. So, all right, you're going to be speaking details to follow. Okay. All right, cool. So anyway, just keep your ears flapping in the wind and be ready for that because it'll be important because we all need you over on D Live because the time is short here. And D Live is a lot of fun, really. So, and it doesn't cost you anything. So, great informer. Drop another super chat. Patriots, please connect with Pete and DBP and me on R-Rated Conservative on Parlor. Yes, and get with everyone else on D Live as well. Stay connected. Good point. Yeah, make sure if you haven't joined Parlor, you might want to get over there too, because that's going to be the conservative Twitter of the future, and it really is already. So anyway, back to business. We're talking about conditioning. One of the best examples of conditioning goes all the way back to what was it? What was the year of Star Wars? 78?
77, 70. I think it was 77, 78.
All right. So in that movie, if you remember the hologram of Princess Leia, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." Yep. That was the first example of the new technology, and believe it or not, that technology was already being worked with as early as probably the 60s. Holograms. My father actually made his first hologram as a project in, I think it was high school, and that would have been back in the late 50s. Mm-hmm. So, holograms have been around a long time. 7-dimensional holograms. Pete and Alex, call me today. Okay. That's already conservative. We'll call you. I'm going to try and call you. We had some storms last night, and I think we got some tower damage because phones are hit and miss at best. We had tornadoes come through my town and stuff, so there's some damage out there. But I will try and call you. If not, I'll try anyway. So, Great Informer dropped another super chat. Please get with us on Parler in case Twitter bans conservative. Connect with me on Clout Hub. I have already established a following and presence there. Okay. Well, we'll look into Clout Hub. All right. Now, this is conditioning. And here in this next sentence, drop the ad. Military mapping. Now, this will explain the military concept, and we'll see how it goes here. It says graphic intelligence. Sorry, please leave a message. The phone worked, so that's a plus. All right, graphic intelligence is an essential part of military strategy, and fully dimensional but holographic images are being used to improve reconnaissance. One American company has delivered over 13,000 3D holographic maps of battle spaces for the U.S. Army. This allows soldiers to view three-dimensional terrain, look around corners, and help with mission training. So, Deborah Ray, you see where people share pictures of these kind of things all the time. They are already deceived by this. Yes, yeah, it's designed as another mind control tactic. But you can see, based on this, the military is always the first one to get technology. When something new is created, it goes to the military. Am I right?
Yes.
All right, so we'll let that go because that's basically the answer. Is it starts with the military and it goes from there. The next one I want to talk about is this guy right here. This was done as kind of a ha ha he he. It was kind of cool kind of thing. And it says ARHT Media impresses again. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Roberta Bondar, and Larry King appear as holograms at a sold-out fundraiser. Now, this was back in, I'm wanting to say 2017. Yeah, June 5th, 2017 in Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. And Conservative Patriot, how you doing? The point of this was, again, to condition people. It was a fundraising program, and they appeared on stage as holographic images or seven-dimensional features. And I want to bring it here because I want you to see this is 2017, and look at the image of how clear he is. But this is almost 3 years ago. Lockhart perspective. How are you doing? Good to see you. So, anyway, you got anything you want to say about it yet, Pete? I don't want to leave you out here. I want you to be able to
No.
participate too.
I'm having a great time over here. One thing I got to tell you is this. You said that right here, what we're looking at with Justin Trudeau, was 3 years ago.
Right.
Now, think about this. Think about what was the propaganda. What was the propaganda at the beginning of the Trump administration and the first year of the Trump administration?
I was hoping you'd bring this up. Please, sir, indulge us.
I remember this vividly when you turned on the media and they said, look out for deep fakes. Deep fakes are going to be, you're not going to know.
There it is.
Who is that? Who is this? And then all of a sudden, it stopped. Don't worry about deep fakes. Don't worry about nothing. Everything's cool.
Right. Yep. Because they don't want people looking into it. I'm so glad you brought that up. I was hoping if I just threw enough at you, you'd probably grab that one. But yeah, I was going to pull it up at the end if you didn't. You're fast, quick on your feet. So anyway, so that was Justin Trudeau, Larry King, and another cat. All right. So, don't need that one. And now, this one is this is one that not everybody may be aware of yet. But if you haven't seen this yet, I want to play this video. Probably not. I'm not going to have any sound because I have to change all my speaker settings and stuff. But I'm going to see if it'll let me play it. I don't want to play the ad. I want to play that. All right, so pay attention here. There's the Pope. Okay. There he is. Let's see if I can get this open. All right, I want to do this one more time now that I've got it open so that you can see. Poof. There it goes again. Poof. Just poof. Gone.
Yeah.
Now I'm letting that loop because I want you to really pay attention to what's going on here. He is there, and you see him phase out like they're turning off a couple of cameras at a time. And
yeah,
that one just recently hit the news. So this is already being used. All right, stop now. You can shut up. This is already being used by world leaders. And the reason they're using this is because, I mean, here's where I need my aluminum hat, tinfoil, whatever. I think some of these people may not be present and accounted for at this moment. No. So they might be using these as a alternative to reality. I think remember here in the last month or so with the sniffles, what did we hear about the Pope?
We heard right at the beginning of the sniffles outbreak that the Pope was not feeling well and was not seen for a month. He was not seen for a month, right. And then all of a sudden he came out to the balcony in front of St. Peter's Square to nobody and did his wave. And then that ran on TV that the Pope was fine.
And then he turned around and went poof.
Then he turned around and went poof. That's what that video was from. He came out to St. Peter's Square, which was empty, completely empty.
Right.
And did that video. What is to say that all these videos that we're seeing of a lot of celebrities are not this technology? And that they are either in one of two places. They are either held up in their bunker or whatever, or they are no longer with us. I don't mean that by passed away with us, but they may be someplace else besides where they're supposed to be. This technology is not what they want the American people to know is something that they're playing with. Because if that's the case, you can get people like, say, Xi Jinping to step up to a podium and declare war on the United States, or you can get President Trump to come up to the podium and say there are 37 nuclear missiles headed towards us by North Korea. They don't want this technology out there except for their control. For their control. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence, my brother, that all these people in the late 80s and early 90s were freezing themselves. Okay, that was not a coincidence. This technology has been on the block for a long time. I just happen to think within the
Exactly.
last 5 years, within the 5 to 7 years, it's been perfected. And now they're rolling it out just like any other military operation. They're rolling it out in
Exactly.
short phases. We
Right.
saw a big phase of it a couple of years ago, and then it disappeared. Now everybody's forgotten about it up until that Nancy
Isn't that
Pelosi video
amazing?
came out. When the Nancy
Yeah.
Pelosi video came out, and that, you know, they slurred her words and made her sound like she was drunk. That was just a setting in the computer. That had nothing to do with any of this stuff. But
Right.
they let the cat out of the bag a little bit, just a little bit, freaked a whole heck of a lot of people out, and then it just disappeared.
Right.
So go ahead.
Raven 777, how you doing? All right, so let's jump back up here into this thing, and it says now this is going to be the oh, don't pay attention to what you see out there in front of your face. It says, so what really happened? 106.7 Light FM reported that it's most likely just a filming or editing glitch. Okay. It's important to note that the video calculating its is from a news report by WWMT about the Pope's live prayer. It is also not live broadcast itself. Here's a longer version of the video. Anyway, so what they've done is they've gone through, they realized they screwed up, and now they have to fix it. They have to get people to say, oh, it was an editing glitch. The whole building stayed in place, but he disappeared, so it's definitely an editing glitch. You didn't really just catch us screwing with your minds. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Right. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly.
Michael Jackson doing shows with this. Yep. All right,
that's
so there's
exactly
we're
what they
in
want
the
you
whole
to
video.
believe.
Yeah. I'm just letting this play for a minute.
Go ahead.
All right. So that looks awfully real. That one there did. But have you heard of a thing called stock footage?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now, look how crystal clear the building is. Okay. When he walks up to that window, I don't know if you guys could see it. It would be kind of difficult to zoom in on that piece. But if you looked at it real carefully, you would notice that his shoulders were fuzzy. As he moved his arm, there was a little bit of a ghost lag, and it wasn't a good hologram. I think they might have been missing one of the cameras. So, yeah. So anyway, it says the different cuts used for the newscast make it likely that this is just an editing glitch. The live broadcast of the Pope from straight ahead is available to watch, and it doesn't show the Pope disappearing. It was shared on original Twitter thread about disappearing video. Well, let's see how we have doctored this thing. The problem is you can take this or you can leave it, but I'm pretty much going to guarantee you that this was we got caught. Now we have got to cover our ass. Because, all right, not even the same size. This is stock footage. This is from a time prior. If you look, he's not even as close to the window or as big as the other one. So this is him in normal size.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, that one that was done beforehand, this little guy here, I want you to look at the proportions of the Pope to the window. Look how massive he is compared to the straight on shot. He's a foot taller and probably another foot wider than he was in the straight on image. So Sorry, you lose on that one.
Of
Not
course.
falling for it. They they used stock footage to debunk, and they missed.
Okay. All right. Let's just put this to sleep right now. Has anybody watched Lord of the Rings? If so,
Oh, I think I have. Pick me, pick me, pick me.
right? If so, have you ever seen those massive battle scenes that they have in those movies with orcs and hobbits
Yep.
and dwarves and elves and men and dragons and eagles and whatever? Now, when you watch that, say, like if I'm sitting in my studio and I have my projector over here and I'm projecting on my wall over here and I'm watching it in 80 inches of wall, it looks phenomenal. You got orcs
Yep.
and people beating each other with axes and clubs and this and that. You're watching an actual battle scene from Middle Earth, God knows what time period, but you almost get caught up in it like it's really happening.
Right. D.A. Archer said, "Did the Pope look a little gray?" And I was
Yes,
looking at a color
yes.
variation also.
So
So,
what makes you think? What makes you think when you're watching that footage on Fox or CNN or MSNBC of those parades down the streets in Russia or North Korea of tanks and missiles and troops and salutes and this and that? What makes you think for 1 second any of that stuff is real?
yeah,
Because this
it's
can all be
it does make you think.
projected. Alex, you're sitting behind a huge elephant. I'm sitting in somebody
Am
else's
I though?
newsroom. I'm sitting in somebody else's newsroom.
But am I really here?
But who knows? You and I are sitting next together on a screen, yet we're 3,000 miles apart. Talking
Yeah, but
to I don't know
you
what,
sound so
50 people,
close.
60 people. The technology has been there
44,
for a very long
54.
time. 54. Okay. On
Yeah,
YouTube, NT Live,
that and Facebook.
and Facebook.
So yeah,
Okay.
total in the house.
So 54 people are watching you and I sitting here talking about this technology. We're 3,000 miles apart.
Right.
And we have 54 people who are God knows where watching the same thing that we're watching and talking about. And we're saying, and they're trying to tell us that this technology can't happen. I just watched the orcs and the elves have a huge battle on Middle Earth,
Right.
and you're telling me that can't happen? Come on now. I mean, this is a little ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous that they would think the American people are this stupid.
Oh yeah, the done playing around says, "Have you seen Gemini Man Will Smith fighting himself?" Yeah. Well, that goes into what we talked about on our fact fiction and beyond. That's
Yeah.
a different subject than this. There's
Mm-hmm.
That's cloning technology that we were also being conditioned for in that movie, Project Zeta or MK Zeta, as
MK
it
Zeta,
were.
yeah.
Yeah, so that gets into that part. But this technology it's a complete mind screw, so that people never know what happens if a tyrannical leader like the governor of Michigan, I guess, or is that her, Michigan, or one of the other,
Yeah.
Massachusetts. So what happens if all of a sudden she has a heart attack and dies, but they don't want to give up that power that she's been able to put into place? What if she never makes any more public appearances, but everything is done? Well, even so, she could make a public appearance based on what we saw with Justin Trudeau, Larry King, and the other one that showed up at a rally or at a fundraiser on stage in hologram form. as long as they don't have fluctuations in power, there's no reason in the world that people wouldn't believe that was really that person, and all of a sudden
No,
they keep that power because
there
everybody has
is no,
handled it.
there is no way to stop that. There is no way to stop that. Matter of fact, there is no reason why any celebrity has to leave the comfort of their own home to do another live event ever again. They can stand up in front of a green screen just like I am and be holographically projected to anywhere in the world, and they can hold their microphone and they can do all their stuff and they can walk across the stage back and forth, and nobody would know the difference. Nobody would know the difference. Okay, everybody, thank you, good night. And they walk off behind stage and they're gone. Well, where is so-and-so? I wanted to get their autograph, or I wanted to do, oh, I'm sorry, he had to leave. They had to leave. She had to leave.
Right.
Is it live or is it Memorex? Exactly, Margot. We don't know what we're watching on TV is the actual people. We don't know if Ruth Bader Ginsburg is actually sitting on the bench. We have no idea. We have no idea. No way to confirm it.
D.A. Archer says we have become this stupid. MK Ultra gave them the complete ability to play with our brains. Yeah, because of Mockingbird media and things like that. Over here in D Live, Colleen says, "Am I the only person on the planet that has not seen it?" I hope not, but definitely at this point you have seen it. So you're probably not the last person on the planet yet. So
no,
at least you've got that going.
Talking to yourselves over there on D Live, and I don't even want you guys to think that. You're not talking to yourself. Stake 59, you may be talking to yourself because you're old, but besides, I don't think everybody else is. That does happen. We get old, we start talking to ourselves.
I got to get in the habit of looking at my chats a little more often. I do apologize about that. I get involved in the subject matter. Kevin Moore fan, how are you? And Six String Gunner, good to see you. I get involved with my topic. I get excited about it. I'm reading about it, and then I end up forgetting that I've actually got people trying to throw questions up at me and stuff. So I'm getting better. I've only been at this a year, and that went from being basically a carpenter, mechanic, or engineer, whatever, and then all of a sudden I'm in broadcasting. So quiet.
Yeah, it gets a little shaky there sometimes when we do this stuff. But what's up, Six String Gunner?
Yeah. You think that Trump might use this technology too? It is possible. He's had some threats on him, and it would be a good idea to have him pop up over here, and then all of a sudden he's in the next room over there, and they're like, "What the hell?" Yeah, it'd be a good trick. You could use it either way. But I want to bring up one of the best examples of this 7-dimensional broadcasting that I think everybody has seen, but probably didn't correlate it. Melody, thank you for the ice cream. And Pete the Patriot, thank you again for another lemon. If you remember the Olympic Open, remember in Russia or in, what was it, Crimea, right before Russia took over Crimea? You remember that Open where they had horses running in the air and they had all these things going on, and it looked like you could reach up and grab a handful of it, but not a single thing that you saw was there except for the audience. It was all 7-dimensional broadcasting. Freeman Pennington, good to see you, brother. Welcome. Check out Project Bluebeam's holographic technology can be used to keep people under control during the time of an Antichrist, which is the New World Order system, which comes after the rapture. Yeah, there are many examples of manipulation, and the reason I wanted to bring this up now, 70, how many dimensions are there? It depends on if you get into string theory, Rui.
Yeah.
Andrade Aldao. I'm not sure. I probably just slaughtered that, and I'm sorry. When you get into string theory, then you get into dimensions that are beyond the visual spectrum. At this point, the only reason they're calling this 7-dimensional is because of how many 2-dimensional devices it takes to create a single object. So the single object becomes your 7th dimension. The multiple 2-dimensional objects that are used to broadcast that single object is the key to it. So,
hold on a
said
second. What? Donnie Newman. You know what, Donnie? When we started this, I was thinking the same thing. Donnie Newman says, I saw holograms at Disneyland 30 years ago. A great big light show. When you go through the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, you see all the little holographic ghosts, the little fat guys, and this technology has been around for a long time. And it's not surprising. It is not surprising that technology of holographics just happened to be in Walt Disney's possession. It's just not too coincidental for me. I understand that. We talked about it the other last week when we did MK Ultra and how it started and where it started. They may be coming to a perfection in the technology. And you may be seeing this, Alex. You may be seeing this in November. A virtual debate. You may see a virtual debate because of COVID-19. You may see Joe Biden and President Trump debating on stage holographically from the safety of their own homes.
Right. And that's part of the reason I wanted to bring this up. I wanted to get this out there because more and more screw-ups are being found in attempts to use this technology. And as long as we bring forward the screw-ups, we show that they are trying to do this. They're going to get better at it, and it's going to be damn near impossible to tell the difference. At this point, we've been lucky enough that they screwed up on one of the biggest public figures on the planet, and that being the Pope. Yep. It's kind of hard to put that cat back in the bag. So it's important to know what's coming, and that's the goal. But now, I wanted to bring up
Ravens. Hold on 1 second. Raven 777 said glitches. Right? Glitches. What we need to understand is you and I, me and Alex, anybody else who does live streaming or this type of stuff will experience glitches because we are not in control of the power supply. The only time you get a glitch in what happens is if your power glitches. Your power has to glitch. Your signal has to glitch. They have technology to where there is a glitch-free environment, a certain amount of bandwidth that they're trying to put into place that is going to take care of all that technological issues of glitches. Megahertz, kilohertz. Think about it. Think about it. What would you implement before something like this? Dr. Fauci just followed you on DLive. Woohoo!
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
All right. Well, thank you for following. I would recommend a lawyer. No, I'm sorry. No, please enjoy yourself. All right. So I just want to touch base on this subject because it's right in the conspiracy theory of knee deep in the world. The situation on September, 9/11. With it, there's an argument being made. Did these things actually exist? And the reality is that nobody really knows. If you look at the damage patterns, then there's a huge question. But one thing that can be done is this projection can also be done from space. And all you have to do is triangulate your camera systems and point at the exact same spot, and you get what you been trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I bring up that particular nasty event is because, as we get closer to election time, the attempt has to be made to scare people away from the voting booths. And one of those ways to do that would be the sudden appearance of our brothers from deep space. All of a sudden around the world, we see images of these extraterrestrial craft come flying into our space, and everybody freaks out and digs their holes and dives in head first and all this other stuff.
Right.
So, anyway, so I just want people to keep their eyes open on this stuff and be aware of it. Um, I've I've got one last thing that I wanted to talk about over here on getting into this technology of 7D. And this last one here, I'm going to open this up so you guys can see it a little better. Anyway, so it says 7D holographic technology, Mr. Rashi R. Durge, Mr. Hanimont P. Jagtap, and Dr. D.Y. Pattis, ACS, College Pimpri Pune, I guess, or Pimpri Pune. Anyway, so those are the people that wrote the paper on this. And it says the abstract. The significant development of 7D holographic technology is its potential to revolutionize aspect of teaching, learning, intrada, imminent, whatever the hell it is, and college of implanting the technology in education settings. Holography is the science of making holograms, which are usually intended for displaying seven-dimensional images. So they were already declaring it seven-dimensional when they first started with the creation of holograms. The difference is that the original holograms had two colors. That's the hurdle that they had to get over, was to make it not only multi-dimensional and a 360-degree view, but they also had to create color technology so that they could cast the three primary colors at each other and create the spectrum, any color in the spectrum. Anyway, so a holographic image can be seen looking into an illuminated holographic print by shining a laser through the hologram and projecting an image on the screen. 7D. 7D holographic technology overcome the barrier of entertainment world. Based concept of 7D technology, little but some more scope. That was really written weird. The paper reviews the basic concept of holography, discussing in depth the principle of interference in which it is based, and outlines the broad applications of holography. We finally present a short conclusion in the end after analyzing the various aspects of holography interactive displays. Now, we talk about how far back this goes. Well, I got a number for that. Right here in the first sentence, introduction. Geber, who imagined holography in 1947, presented the term utilizing two Greek words, holos, entire, and graphy, composing. It basically implies that the recorded holographic picture of the item contains entire optical data about the object. Amplitude and phase data of the light scattered from the item, preferably. The visualization is a three-dimensional picture, replicated from independent design recorded by intelligible light beams and holography. It is a procedure of remaking and composing a multidimensional image. White light from the sun or a light in a blend of each shade of light in the range, which is not valuable for multidimensional image. In any case, a laser sparkles light in the deity or dainty, exceptional shaft, which is of one shading, which suggests that they are ununiform and in stage. At the point when two laser shafts cooperate, a solidarity new wave example is delivered. The multi-dimensional image, customarily holography, was typically static, and the application contained to show yet with improvement in this science. It is utilized as part of different field of applications, including workmanship, security, information, stockpiling, etc. And that was hard to read. Anyway, it's science mumbo jumbo. But the most important part of that whole paragraph was 1947 when it was conceptual, and then the applications: workmanship, security, information, stockpiling, etc. So it is kind of weird, I'm thinking. Tell me what you think.
How do you think? Now, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds here, but how do you
Thank you for the ice
think
cream.
von Braun, you know who that is, right?
Oh, yeah.
How do you think that he got not the V1s, but the V2 rockets to explode over the destinations that they wanted them to explode? Think about it. Think about the technology that they use right now in the front end of missiles to get missiles to go over a target and explode. That missile takes a camera picture of the ground where the target is. It bounces it back through a radar signal or probably some other type of signal, and then it tells that bomb that that's where that's going to explode. Do you think that they just precisely shoved enough rocket propellant up the ass of that rocket to run out of fuel just before Buckingham Palace?
Right.
They flew it from Germany all the way over to London, and here's Buckingham Palace right here, right here. And it goes just before, because they had the technology to use to know how much rocket propellant to go 750 miles.
Right.
No, they used holographic technology and 3D mapping of the city in order to make those rockets fall what they wanted to. Not V1s, but V2 rockets. You think it was a big, huge coincidence that we let the Russians take Berlin? No, we went after von Braun and everybody that worked for him because we wanted what was in here. This is not, don't do that 1947. This technology has been going on since 41, maybe before. Bending light is not a new concept. The Greeks were doing it 5,000 years ago. That's all a hologram is. It's bending light.
Right, and splitting light, like prism technology.
Exactly. It's been going on for thousands of years. Get believe in the occult and want to dominate the world, and then give them the funds to build weapons on that, based on that technology. Yeah, you come up with some stuff.
Right.
I wish they would stop trying. They would stop trying to say in all these papers and all, they skirt around the real issues, and they never tell you the real issue of what they're talking about, but they hide it behind all these technological words that people cannot, that turns into a soup. You don't know what the hell you're saying, and by the time you finish reading the article, you're like, what the hell did I just read?
Exactly.
Break it down in simple ports. That's it.
Right. Well, that's really that is seven dimensional in a nutshell. Um, any organization that is centralized with power, influence, and will attract psychopaths and immoral, greedy nihilists that will eventually take it over. The solution is decentralization, i.e., constitution. Yeah, separatism with reciprocity is what you're talking about, and I agree with that. Umpire's post. Um, anyway, so I did see something going on in my chat, and if you guys want to talk about things together, that's fine. Uh, First off, I don't have a problem with anybody that's in my chat. If I have a problem with them, for one thing, I'll let people say whatever they want to say because that's what it is here. First Amendment, period, without exception. With one exception, I won't deal with anybody coming in here being racist because that's against my constitution. Whether it's your free speech or not, it's your problem. That's not You're not going to inflict that on me. But Duke Rawl and D.A. Archer, I don't have a problem with either one of you. If you guys have issues that you need to discuss, you probably need to do it in a different environment so that you're not necessarily disrupting other people in the chat because you can tend to make other people want to leave when they see drama going on. But I'm just saying, if you guys have to chalk something out, you need to get together and try to do that. But anyway, thank you for the next lemon there, Pete. All right, Pete the Patriot, thank you, sir. It was awesome. I'm so glad you joined me.
Great subject, Alex.
Thank you, Northern Tiger. I appreciate it. Yeah, I thought this was interesting because I heard you talking about Hitler and his handlers and the fakeness that
Yeah.
you're going to leave and not come back. I'm sorry to hear that, Duke. You know, but all right. But anyway, we will leave it at that. And I want to thank my mods for everything you guys do. I want to thank the Great Informer for those awesome super chats and the fruits and ice creams from my D Live. Thank you very much. Mindy, Patriot Angel, sent me an ice cream. I don't know if she heard me say thank you, so I want to make sure of that. But anyway, that's what I got. And you want to say anything on the way out there, Pete?
So anybody who's not subscribed to me on D Live, please go subscribe to me. I am like 10 people away from, or 9 people away from 200, which is some sort of milestone over there, and I'm really trying to reach that. So I would appreciate it.
On. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and let me see here. I want to see if anybody's interested in my my little happy tool chest real quick. And if I can get my image to stop fighting me. I got 39.8. I'm gonna go ahead and crack that chest and let you guys fight over it. I got a few people up there in the top row, and it is opened. Distribute rewards, and there it goes. Yep, it's adding up. All right. Now, while it's distributing, I'm going to go ahead and finish this thing up. But you guys definitely want to stay in the fight.